Gentlemen, in the next 3 minutes, I'm going to show you how to take anything that a beautiful woman says to you and twist that into pure sexual fireworks. That boring nice guy conversation to nowhere, you're about to turn that into a live wire, sparkling with raw sexual electricity. Now, let's be honest, guys. The whole dating game, it is rigged against you. Women just get to show up and coast along on their looks. But you, when you show up just being yourself, you get completely ignored. And if you try to wing it, if you try to play the nice friendly guy when you talk to her, she will punish you for it every single time. With no sympathy, no mercy. You will be invisible to her, treated like you do not even exist. Meanwhile, a woman can show up with zero conversation skills, be boring as a brick wall to talk to, and still get all the attention. That is the truth, gentlemen. And yeah, it's not fucking fair. Women have it pretty easy that way. But here's the thing. You can flip the script on that girl. Instead of just being another guy that she forgets about the second she walks away, you can become the man that she's replaying in her head at 2 a.m. in the morning, wide awake, wondering why she cannot stop thinking about you. Hey, I'm Jesse, and I've been coaching men like yourself for over 20 years now, showing older guys exactly how to get that younger girlfriend they thought was out of their reach. And here's the truth that most men never get. Women do not sleep with men for their looks, gentlemen. They sleep with men because of how those men make them feel inside. And younger women in particular, they're drawn to older men because older men can bring them along on that emotional roller coaster. And when you use these 5 filters in your conversations, you tap right into that hot emotional wiring deep inside of her. You make her feel things that no man has ever given her before. It does not matter if you're 30 years older than her. It does not matter if you're rocking the dad jeans. It will not matter. If you know how to use these 5 filters I'm going to show you, that girl will chase after you. Because these filters trigger something very deep and primal deep inside of her. And even the most beautiful young women will break every rule they have for a man who knows how to use them. And this 5th filter I'm going to show you, I didn't even want to put it in here because it is so damn powerful. But I thought, fuck it. You guys need to hear this. But here's the big trap that every guy falls into when they're talking to a beautiful woman. And it's the reason they always end up being invisible to her. They think that conversation is all about making her feel comfortable. So what do? Well, they ask her a ton of different questions. They nod along, agreeing with everything she says like she's some kind of genius. They sprinkle in little compliments, hoping that she'll like them back. And all that sounds really nice, right? No, gentlemen, that is exactly what's going to make you utterly forgettable to her. I mean, sure, if you're a celebrity, if she's starstruck and desperate for your attention, that bland, comfort-only style might work on her. But for 99% of guys, she will start off being skeptical of you. And comfort is not the emotion you need to start with first, because comfort does not create attraction. Comfort only tells her, I'm safe, I'm harmless, I'm not even a sexual option here, girl. You're not giving her the butterflies deep inside. You're just giving her that elevator music. And what is elevator music? It is background noise. Elevator music, it is safe, it is bland, and it is forgettable. Now, here's the twist. This is how you can turn all this to your advantage. Most men think that women are like these great conversationalists or something, but they're not. In fact, most beautiful women are boring as hell to talk to. Let's be real. But why? Because men have carried these women in conversations their whole lives. Women never had to develop the skill of being a good conversationalist. But that is your opening. Because when you flip her boring words with these filters I'm going to show you, suddenly now you are the most interesting man she's ever talked to. And remember this, you're not just competing with other men now. Now you're competing with that phone in her pocket. That phone in her pocket gives her endless entertainment. Comedians at her fingertips, drama, music, non-stop dopamine hits straight to her brain every single moment she wants it. So if all you can do is bring her comfort, she can get that from Instagram. She can get comfort from watching Netflix. Why would she ever choose you for that? So the bar today is set way higher than it was 20 years ago. And being a nice guy isn't just weak nowadays. It is flat out obsolete because women don't just want one flat emotion. No, she wants a symphony of emotions. And that's exactly what these 5 filters are going to give you, because you're going to take her on this roller coaster that no phone can match. Because here's the truth, gentlemen. If you don't do this, she's going to drop you like a hot potato the second a more exciting guy comes along, even if you are a good looking dude. All right, so let's put this into action, starting with the very first filter. And the very first filter is the stating assumptions filter. And here's how it works. She says something boring. She says something ordinary, something mundane. And most guys, they're just going to treat it literally. They might ask her another bland question back. For example, she says, "I'm from Mexico." And the average dude, he's going to tell her, "Oh, what part of Mexico are you from? What brought you here?" And that's pretty lame, guys. What you want to do instead is twist that. You don't want to take her words at face value. You want to put them through a filter. You want to misinterpret them. You want to throw an accusatory assumption back at her. So instead, when she says, "I'm from Mexico," you might shoot back at her, "Oh, okay, so you've got like 10 cousins ready to beat me up if I say the wrong thing, right?" Or you might say to her, "Okay, I get it, you're from Mexico, so you're here to steal one of our men and drag him back home with you. You sure are a troublemaker." Do you see what just happened right there? You put her into a box and you made this bold accusatory assumption about her that now she has to fight her way out of that box you put her in. And that playful challenge creates tension, and tension creates excitement. And excitement is exactly what you need her feeling in that first minute of the conversation. Because comfort does not spark attraction, gentlemen. Charged excitement does. And if you don't spark excitement right away with her, you're going to lose her attention to the one thing in her pocket, her phone. And again, gentlemen, her phone has the comedians, the drama, the entertainment on demand. So you're not competing with boring questions you ask. You're competing with TikTok and Netflix and Instagram, so you gotta start out strong. That's why the stating accusatory assumptions filter is like a weapon in your arsenal. It flips her plain, boring, mundane words into live current of electricity. It makes her laugh. It draws her into the conversation because she's gonna wanna correct the record and push back on you. And that's what sets her on that roller coaster. And if you want me to do a full breakdown video on just this one filter, drop the word accuse down in the comments and I'll go deeper on it for you. And by the way, if this stuff is hitting you and you're ready to level up faster, I run a private one-on-one 12-week coaching program. That's not just theory, it is execution. So that in mere months, not years, you can have that younger girlfriend you've been chasing your whole life for. And here's exactly what we do. I hand you the exact storytelling frameworks, the psychological hooks, the conversational templates that flip her emotions on demand. So that every interaction you have with a girl, whether it's over text, on a date, or that very first conversation you have with her in person, sparks tension, triggers obsession, and keeps her chasing you even when you're not around her. Now here's how you can get in. I'm going to put a link down in the description below. Click on that link and you can watch another video that will explain to you all about how the coaching works. And if it's already booked out, you can simply jump on the wait list. And as soon as spots open up again, we can hop on a call together and I'll listen to your exact situation. And if I feel like I can at least 10x your results, you are in. All right, so moving on, gentlemen. Once you've hooked her, pulled her in with that playful accusatory assumption, now it's time to flip the script into something even more flirtatious. And that's where the us together frame comes in. So frame number 2 is the us together frame. And you want to think of it as like swapping a different lens onto your camera. You're going to get kind of the same picture, but a different vibe here. So now instead of making it about her, which is the accusatory assumption, you're going to twist it and make it about the two of you coming together. So if you're in a conversation with a beautiful young woman and she tells you, "Oh, I'm from Mexico," most guys are just going to ask her a flat, boring question right back. Like, "Oh, what part of Mexico are you from?" But not you. You're going to make it about the two of you together doing something. So for example, you might tell her, "Oh, perfect, Mexico. So when we head down there, you're smuggling me across the border, right?" as your secret boyfriend. Or you might tell her, okay, nice, from Mexico. That means you're my translator when we go. I'll just point things out and you tell me what I'm looking at. Or you might tell her, okay, so we're basically gonna run away to Mexico together. That's fine, but you're gonna be doing the driving, girl. Do you see the shift here between the first filter of accusatory assumptions and this second filter of us together? Accusatory assumptions are about her. They tease her. They challenge her. But the us together frame, that's about the two of you together. That's where the teasing flips into flirting. Because now it's not just about her, it's about the two of you in a scenario together. Going on dinner dates, going on trips, running away together, where she is your partner in the story and she's hitting on you. Now, here's when you want to use this. Once you've reached that first hook point with her. And the first hook point is she's holding eye contact with you. She's maybe asking you questions back. You don't feel like she's just going to walk away from you. That's when you want to start imposing this us together frame on her, where you drop the idea of you and her together, even if it is in a ridiculous, over-the-top, playful, absurd, hypothetical sort of way. Because the second she starts entertaining that you and me storyline together, that's the moment you know that you can take her out on a date. Now let's crank it up a notch, gentlemen. Filter number 3, and that is asking her evaluating questions. And this one kind of flips that power dynamic on its head. Because most guys out there, they spend the whole conversation auditioning for the girl's approval. They're trying to impress her. They're literally out there begging for her approval, okay? But that is very weak. With this filter here, now you make the girl audition for you, where you are setting the standards. You are the selector, and she's chasing after your approval. For example, when you're talking to a beautiful woman in a conversation and she tells you, oh, I'm from Mexico, what most guys are going to do is ask her some boring questions. Oh, what part of Mexico are you from? Do you like it there? What brings you here? And it comes across like a boring job interview. But not you. Instead, you're going to ask her an evaluating question. Oh, okay, you're from Mexico. Do you know how to cook? So what would you cook to impress me? Or you might ask her, okay, you're from Mexico. Well, I've heard Mexican girls are really fiery. Are there any red flags that I should know about before I risk my life here? Now you got her laughing. Now she's qualifying herself to you. Now she's chasing after your validation. Now, this is the key you really got to understand, guys. It's not asking questions itself that's the problem. It's how you frame those questions. And just peppering her with a bunch of basic get-to-know-you questions is pretty damn lazy because it puts the burden of carrying the conversation on her shoulders. And pretty girls, they're just simply not going to do that. They're not going to go along. They're going to get bored. She's going to want to check her phone. But when you filter her words through evaluating questions, suddenly now you're in control. You're the one screening her. You're the one setting the bar for her to cross over. And women love that because now you're framing yourself as the prize that she has to chase after. And look, if you want to master these filters, like how to ask her evaluating questions to get her chasing after you to cover every kind of different situation you can find yourself in, that's what I cover in my 12-week coaching program, where we rewire the way you talk to women until you are the most interesting man that she has ever met. All right, moving on, gentlemen, to filter number 4, and this one is an absolute game changer. This is the absurd self-awesome filter, and this is the move. You make yourself sound ridiculously incredible, okay? Over the top, delusionally self-absorbed, but all in a playful, tongue-in-cheek sort of way, where it's not arrogance so much, but God mode banter. You see, men out there think that these young, beautiful women, what they want from a guy is security and comfort, but that is wrong. These young, beautiful women, what they really want from a guy is status, okay? Attraction. She's not scanning for the guy who makes her feel the safest. She's scanning for the guy who stands out. She's scanning for the guy that seems untouchable, who seems larger than life. And that's exactly what this filter does for you. So, for example, if you're talking to a beautiful girl and she says, I'm from Mexico, you're going to fire back, yeah, I'm basically a national treasure down there. They got murals of me in Tijuana. Or you might tell her, oh, okay, Mexico, right. They built a statue of me down in Cancun, shirtless, of course. Tourists line up to take selfies with it. Or you might say, okay, Mexico, huh? Yeah, I had to stop visiting there. Too many women chasing me down the beaches. Got kind of exhausting. So do you see the difference here? Whereas most guys bend down, they prostrate themselves on the floor, putting her up on a pedestal where they act small, they act nice, but you are going to flip the script on that girl. You're going to put yourself way at the top, almost obnoxiously high, and do it with a playful little wink. And beautiful women will eat this up like candy because it's bold, because it's fun, because it's the opposite of that weak pedestal worshiping energy that she gets every single day. All right, now that you've got her laughing and leaning into you and making eye contact with you and she likes you, now is the time for your final weapon, the final filter, the one that flips things from playful to sexually magnetic. And that final filter is sexual innuendo, where you're going to take her words, you're going to twist it, and what you're going to say to her, you're going to keep an innocent meaning on the surface, but you're going to slip in a second meaning right underneath it. And that second meaning has a sexual charge to it. Sexual innuendo is a little bit like having a song with two different sets of lyrics. You got the clean version for the radio, and you got the dirty version only she hears between the lines. And here's the beauty of using sexual innuendo. It's not about being crude, gentlemen. It's about creating plausible deniability, where she can laugh at the innocent meaning, go along with it, while her subconscious locks onto the sexual undertones right underneath the surface. So it gives her an excuse to stay inside the tension without shutting it down. So for example, you're talking to a beautiful woman and she tells you, I'm from Mexico. So you lean in and you tell her, so basically your plan is to get me addicted to tacos and tequila. Notice how we placed extra emphasis on the word addicted to make it sound sexual. Or you might say, okay, Mexico. So you're a very fiery girl. I've heard that Mexican girls really know how to turn up the heat. Where we placed extra emphasis on the words fiery and heat to have that double meaning of sex. Now, the timing matters, gentlemen. You're not going to open her with sexual innuendo, of course. You're going to build into it. So first, you're going to use accusatory assumptions to tease her where it's all about her. Then you're going to drop the us together frame to flirt with her. And once she's accepting the idea of you and her together doing something, that's when you can start using sexual innuendo on her. And if you want me to break down in extreme detail for you all the different ways to use sexual innuendo, because there's many different ways to do it, and stack it with the other filters to build maximum attraction with that girl, to build maximum tension with that girl, that's exactly what I show you how to do inside my 12-week coaching program, where we turn your conversations into pure crackling sexual electricity. Now, if this is the kind of topic you like to learn about, you got to watch this video next, gentlemen. The 4 mind control triggers that addict younger women to older men so you can hijack her brain. Maybe there's a girl you're crushing on. Maybe it's a female friend. Maybe it's a girl at work. Maybe it's a girl at school. Maybe you just want to walk into a bar and talk to a younger woman and get her addicted to you. Use these 4 triggers right now. Go watch this video.